He was 27 years old when his ultra-luxury Dubai experience company hit $18 million in revenue. Most tour guides in Dubai were charging $50 per person to show tourists the Burj Khalifa and operating on volume. 50 tourists per day at $80 each. He did the opposite. One client per week at $35,000. The difference? He wasn't selling a tour. He was selling a lifestyle experience that only billionaires usually get. Private villa with infinity pool and Burj Khalifa view, not a hotel room. Lamborghini Urus for the week, not a taxi. Helicopter tours over Palm Jumeirah, not bus rides. Yacht chartered for sunset and breakfast, not hotel buffets. Michelin star dinners at Nobu, Zuma, and Pirchich, not food courts. Desert safari and luxury 4x4, not crowded buses. And him, Leo Grant, personally guiding them through every single moment. Not sending them with a random guide. Himself, every client. But 5 years earlier, he was a 22-year-old immigrant who arrived in Dubai with $8,000 and a work visa. He saw what nobody else saw. Rich tourists were spending $20,000 on Dubai trips and leaving disappointed. Too generic, too transactional, too disconnected. So he made the craziest financial bet of his life. He borrowed $320,000 in a country with zero interest loans and zero income tax, combined with his saved $85,000, and built an experience so luxurious, so personal, so perfectly curated that wealthy travelers would pay anything for it. This is how Leo Grant turned Dubai's financial advantages and luxury infrastructure into an $18 million empire. And the exact blueprint he used that works in any luxury service market. His name was Leo Grant, and at 22 he had a problem most young men dream about having. He was bored with his comfortable life. He had just graduated from university in London with a degree in hospitality management. His parents wanted him to get a corporate job at a hotel chain. His friends were all entering graduate programs or starting careers in finance. Leo wanted neither. He wanted adventure. He wanted to build something. He wanted to be somewhere where anything felt possible. So in the summer of 2013, Leo made a decision that would define his life. He bought a one-way ticket to Dubai. With $8,000 in savings, a work visa he had secured through an online application, and absolutely no plan beyond figure it out when I get there. His parents thought he was throwing his life away. His friends thought he was running from responsibility. Leo knew something they didn't. Dubai was the fastest-growing city on earth. Money was everywhere, opportunity was everywhere, and he was going to find his piece of it. But here's what nobody knew, and I'll reveal exactly what he discovered at age 24 that changed his entire strategy. Year 1. Survival and observation. Leo arrived in Dubai in August 2013. The heat was unbearable. 45 degrees Celsius, 113 Fahrenheit. He had never experienced anything like it. He found a shared apartment in Dera, the older part of Dubai. Rent $600 per month for a bedroom in a flat with 3 other expats. He needed work immediately. Within 2 weeks, he found a job as a tour guide for a mid-tier tourism company. Dubai Wonders Tours. Salary $1,800 per month, plus small commissions on tour sales. His job was simple. Meet tourists at their hotels, take them on a bus with 40 other people, show them the Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall, Gold Souk, spice markets, drive through Palm Jumeirah, and drop them back at their hotels. 6 hours, $80 per person. The company made money on volume. 3 to 4 tours per day. 120 to 160 tourists daily. Leo hated it. Not because the work was hard, because it was soulless. He watched wealthy tourists, people flying business class, staying at 5-star hotels, shopping at Chanel and Gucci, and they looked miserable on these tours, crammed into buses, rushed through attractions, eating at mediocre restaurants, taking photos with strangers in the background. At the end of every tour, Leo would ask, "How was your experience?" And the responses were always the same. "It was fine. Dubai is impressive but feels fake. I expected more." These were people who had spent $15,000 to $25,000 on their Dubai trip. Flights, hotels, shopping, dining, and they left disappointed. Leo started taking notes, not just about what tourists said, but about who they were, where they stayed, what they bought, how they spent money. And he realized something critical. Wealthy people were being given budget experiences. Year 2, the realization. By his second year, Leo had led over 400 tours. He had seen thousands of wealthy tourists. And he noticed patterns. Pattern 1, they hated crowds. They paid for business-class flights and 5-star hotels to feel exclusive. Then they were put on buses with 40 strangers. Pattern 2, they valued time over money. They didn't want 6-hour tours. They wanted curated experiences that maximized every moment. Pattern 3, they wanted authentic luxury. Not fake gold souks and tourist traps. Real experiences that felt special. Pattern 4, they wanted personal attention. Not a guide reading a script. Someone who cared about their experience. In year 2, Leo started doing something his company didn't know about. On his days off, he would approach wealthy tourists at luxury hotels. Armani Hotel, Burj Al Arab, Atlantis the Palm. He would introduce himself. I'm a private tour guide. If you want to see the real Dubai, the luxury Dubai, I can create a custom experience just for you. He charged $500 for a full day. Private car, personalized itinerary, his full attention. In year 2, he did 28 private tours on his days off. Revenue $14,000. After car rental and expenses, he cleared about $9,000. Combined with his salary, he saved $22,000 that year. Total savings $30,000. But more importantly, he was learning what wealthy clients actually wanted. And at age 24, he discovered something that would change everything. I'll tell you exactly what that was in 3 minutes. Year 3, the game-changing insight. Leo had just finished a private tour with a family from California. Tech entrepreneur, wife, 2 teenage kids. He charged them $1,200 for 2 days. At the end, the father pulled him aside. Leo, we just spent $32,000 on this trip. Flights, hotel, shopping, dining. But honestly, the 2 days with you were the only part that felt worth it. Everything else felt transactional. I wish we had just booked the entire trip through you. Villa, car, activities, everything. I would have paid $50,000 for that. Leo went home that night and couldn't sleep. He had just heard the business model that would make him a millionaire. What if he didn't just offer tours? What if he offered complete luxury experiences? All-inclusive, 5 days. He handles everything. Villa, supercar, helicopter, yacht, dining, activities. Personal guide service, 1 client at a time. $35,000 per person. He did the math. Cost to deliver. Private villa for 5 days, $4,000. Luxury car rental, Lamborghini or Range Rover, $3,500. Helicopter tour, $2,500. Private yacht charter for breakfast and sunset, $8,000. Fine dining, 5 dinners at top restaurants, $3,000. Desert safari and private luxury vehicle, $1,500. Activities, skydiving, dune bashing, spa, $2,500. His time and service, $5,000. Total cost, approximately $30,000. If he charged $35,000, he'd make $5,000 profit per client. But here's the problem. He needed capital up front to book everything before clients paid, and he needed to prove the concept. Year 4, preparation and saving. Leo kept working his regular tour job, but he also ramped up private tours. He raised his prices, $800 per day. He did 52 private tours that year. Revenue, $41,600. After expenses, profit $28,000. Combined with his salary savings, year 3 savings, $35,000. Total savings by end of year 4, $85,000. But he also did something else. He built relationships. He became friends with villa rental managers, luxury car rental companies, yacht charter operators, helicopter tour companies, fine dining restaurant managers. He told them his vision. I'm going to bring you ultra-wealthy clients consistently, but I need preferred rates and priority booking. They listened, because most of them were struggling to fill their premium inventory. A $15,000 per night villa often sat empty. A $4,000 per day Lamborghini often sat in the garage. They agreed to give Leo preferred rates if he could deliver consistent bookings. By the end of year 4, Leo had $85,000 saved. He had relationships with every luxury service provider in Dubai. He had proof of concept from private tours. Now he needed to scale, but he couldn't do it with just $85,000. He needed more capital. Year 5, the big bet. This is where Leo made the move that most people would never have the courage to make. Dubai has a unique financial system. No income tax, no capital gains tax. And for residents and business owners, loans with zero interest, not low interest, zero. The UAE government incentivizes entrepreneurship and investment. Leo researched every bank. He applied for a business loan. He wrote a detailed business plan. Ultra-luxury, all-inclusive Dubai experiences. Target market, high net worth individuals, $5 million plus net worth. Pricing $35,000 per person, $60,000 per couple. Capacity, 1 client per week, 40 clients per year. Projected revenue, $1.4 million year 1. 3 banks rejected him. Too risky, unproven model. But one bank, Emirates NBD, saw the vision. They approved a $320,000 business loan. Zero interest, 5-year repayment term. Monthly payments, $5,333. Leo was 27 years old. He now had $405,000 in total capital. $320,000 loan plus $85,000 savings. He quit his tour guide job. He registered his company, Grant Luxury Experiences, LLC, and he went all in. Phase 1, building the infrastructure. Leo didn't spend the money randomly. He was strategic. He negotiated annual contracts with providers. Villa company, 50 days per year, pre-booked at $3,800 per villa instead of $6,000. Savings $110,000 annually. Luxury car rental, 50 weeks pre-booked at $3,200 per week instead of $4,500. Savings $65,000 annually. Yacht charter company, 40 charters pre-booked at $7,500 instead of $10,000. Savings $100,000 annually. Helicopter company, 40 tours pre-booked at $2,200 instead of $3,000. Savings $32,000 annually. By committing to volume, Leo negotiated $307,000 in annual savings. This gave him the margin to be profitable even at $35,000 per client. Phase 2, marketing to the ultra-wealthy. Leo didn't advertise on Google or Facebook. Ultra-wealthy people don't book travel that way. He used 3 strategies. Strategy 1, personal network from 4 years of private tours. He contacted every wealthy client he had ever served, 127 people. He sent personalized emails. I've launched an exclusive experience, only 40 spots per year. I think you'd love it. 8 people booked immediately. $280,000 in revenue committed before he even launched publicly. Strategy 2, partnerships with luxury hotels. He approached concierge managers at Burj Al Arab, Armani Hotel, one and only the Palm. If your ultra-wealthy guests want an exclusive experience, refer them to me. I'll give you 10% commission. They agreed. Strategy 3, word of mouth among the global elite. He knew if he delivered one perfect experience, that client would tell their wealthy friends. Phase 3, the first client. Leo's first official client was a 52-year-old private equity investor from New York. Booked through a referral, paid $35,000 for 5 days. Leo personally handled every detail. Day 1 picked him up from airport in a Rolls-Royce, drove him to a $12,000 per night villa on Palm Jumeirah, gave him keys to a Lamborghini Urus for the week, took him for sunset cocktails at Pier Chick with a private table over the water. Day 2, Helicopter tour at sunrise over the entire city. Breakfast on a private 80-foot yacht cruising the Arabian Gulf. Afternoon. Private desert safari in a luxury G-Wagon with falconry demonstration. Dinner at Nobu with chef's tasting menu. Day 3, morning skydiving over Palm Jumeirah. Lunch at Zuma, afternoon spa at Talise. Evening, private Majlis experience with an Emirati family, something tourists never get access to. Day 4, morning yacht cruise with water sports. Lunch at La Petite Maison. Afternoon shopping with personal stylist at Dubai Mall. Dinner at Oceano. Underwater restaurant at Atlantis. Day 5, morning, leisure at Villa. Final lunch at Atmosphere, world's highest restaurant in Burj Khalifa. Airport transfer in Rolls-Royce. At the end, the client looked at Leo and said, "This was the single best travel experience of my life. I've been to 67 countries. I've stayed at the best hotels. I've done everything. This was beyond anything I imagined. I'm telling everyone I know." He kept his word. Within 3 weeks, Leo received 4 inquiries, all referrals from that one client. Within 3 months, he had 11 bookings. Within 6 months, he was fully booked for the next 8 months. Year 1, the proof of concept. Let's break down Year 1 financials. Total clients served, 32 in the first year. Leo couldn't do 52 because he was still building systems. Average revenue per client, $36,500. Some couples paid $65,000. Total revenue, $1,168,000. Total costs, villa, car, yacht, helicopter, dining, activities, approximately $27,000 per client. Total costs for 32 clients, $864,000. Gross profit, $304,000. Operating expenses, Leo's salary, insurance, business costs, $95,000. Net profit, $209,000. In his first year, Leo made more profit than most people make in 5 years. But more importantly, he had proven the model. And he had a waiting list of 23 clients for Year 2. Year 2, scaling the operation. Leo couldn't personally handle every client anymore. He was burning out. 32 clients at 5 days each equals 160 days of full-time client service, plus planning, coordination, and logistics. He needed to scale. But here's the problem. The entire value proposition was him. Personal service from Leo Grant. So he made a strategic decision. He would hire and train luxury experience managers, but only for certain clients. He would personally handle all first-time clients, all VIP referrals, all clients paying over $50,000. His new hires would handle repeat clients who already trusted the brand. He hired 2 people. Elena, 29, former luxury hotel concierge from Switzerland. Salary $85,000 plus bonuses. Omar, 31, former private aviation service manager. Salary $82,000 plus bonuses. He trained them for 3 months. They shadowed him on every client experience. They learned his standards, his attention to detail, his personal touch. Year 2 results. Total clients served 58, 28 handled by Leo, 30 handled by Elena and Omar. Revenue $2.1 million. Net profit after all costs and salaries $520,000. Year 3, the luxury tier. Year 3, the luxury tier. Leo realized something. Some clients wanted even more. He had inquiries asking, "Can you do 7 days? Can you arrange a private jet? Can we do a yacht week?" So he created 3 tiers. Tier 1, the Dubai Icon, 5 days, $35,000 per person, his original package. Tier 2, the Emirates Elite, 7 days, includes Abu Dhabi, private jet between cities, $75,000 per person. Tier 3, the Arabian Royalty, 10 days, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Oman, private jet, mega yacht charter, $150,000 per person. Year 3, he served 68 clients, 38 at Tier 1, 22 at Tier 2, 8 at Tier 3. Total revenue $4.8 million, net profit $1.4 million. Years 4 and 5, the empire. Leo expanded in two ways. One, he opened operations in Abu Dhabi and Doha, Qatar. Same model, ultra-luxury experiences. Two, he developed corporate packages for Fortune 500 executives. 3-day elite business and luxury experiences. $50,000 per executive. By year 5, at age 32, Grant Luxury Experiences had total annual revenue $18.2 million breakdown. Dubai operations $12.3 million. Abu Dhabi operations $3.6 million. Doha operations $2.3 million. Team 18 full-time luxury experience managers across 3 cities. Total clients served annually approximately 287. Average price per experience $63,000. Net profit margin 28%. Leo's personal annual profit approximately $5.1 million. Company valuation based on revenue multiples and growth trajectory approximately $35 million to $45 million. And it all started with $8,000, a one-way ticket, and the courage to see what nobody else saw. So what can you learn from Leo's story? Whether you're in travel, hospitality, or any service business, these principles apply. Lesson 1. Wealthy people will pay for convenience and excellence. Leo's clients didn't need to save money. They needed to save time and have perfect experiences. Application. Stop competing on price. Compete on value and experience. Lesson 2. Volume is not the only model. Most tour companies did 50 clients a day at $80. Leo did 1 client per week at $35,000. Application. High-ticket, low-volume can be more profitable and sustainable than high-volume, low-ticket. Lesson 3. Personal service is the ultimate luxury. In a world of automation and outsourcing, human attention is priceless. Application. Be present. Be personal. Make clients feel like they're your only client. Lesson 4. Use financial systems to your advantage. Dubai's zero-interest loans allowed Leo to borrow $320,000 with no interest cost. Application. Understand the financial advantages of where you operate. Leverage them intelligently. Lesson 5. Build relationships before you need them. Leo spent 4 years building relationships with luxury vendors. When he launched, they gave him preferred rates. Application. Network isn't just for clients. Build relationships with suppliers and partners. Lesson 6. Prove concept small before scaling big. Leo tested his model with private tours for 4 years before going all in. Application. Validate your idea at small scale. Then scale with confidence. Lesson 7. Create tiered offerings. Leo's 3 tiers allowed him to serve different wealth levels and maximize revenue. Application. Don't offer just one product. Offer good, better, best options. Leo Grant didn't come from money. He didn't have connections in Dubai. He didn't have a trust fund or family business. He had 5 things. Vision to see opportunity others missed. Courage to bet everything on his idea. Discipline to save for 5 years before launching. Excellence in execution that created word of mouth. Strategic thinking to leverage Dubai's unique advantages. At 22, he arrived with $8,000 and a dream. At 27, he borrowed $320,000 and launched. At 32, he's running an $18 million ultra-luxury experience empire. His story isn't about Dubai. It's about what happens when you stop accepting average and start building extraordinary. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need millions in capital. You need the ability to see what others don't, the courage to bet on yourself, and the excellence to deliver beyond expectations. Leo took his first step with a one-way ticket and $8,000. What's your first step? What average experience in your industry could you transform into something extraordinary? A small step is the beginning of a big story.